Hey guys, it's Angel. Welcome back to Alaska, and welcome, most importantly, to a tree. It's very green. Look at the beautiful leaves. And no, this. Look at the Cessna 206. Yes, it is here. Oh, I'm excited. And there's a tree again. Let's get away from the tree, shall we? This is a Freeware Cessna 206 that's been released by Sal 1800, the guy who brought us the Freeware Cessna 180. Now, the Cessna 206, as you well know, often kind of referred to as a bit of a SUV of the skies. As we get this slowed down, take a look around here. The Cessna stationair, Super Skywagon, Super Skylane, various different names it's had. Single engine GA aircraft, seating 6 generally, or 4 and 2 smaller. Generally produced from 1962 all the way through to present day. 8,500 have been built. Developed from the Cessna 210, it's a fixed gear, single engine aircraft with a high wing. The 205 was the very original one in 1962 and 63. And it was basically a 210 with fixed gear and some changes to crew and passenger doors, as you'll notice, with this big double door on the rear. Very useful for cargo and other equipment. And this model we're looking at right now has it's an early 2000s model with it's a H, I should say, with a turbocharged TIO 540 at 300 horsepower, so a lot of grunt. Seating for 6 with about 1,300 pounds of useful load, 600 kilos. She's good. Yeah. Now, it does say a 3.5 mile cruise range. I'm going to guess that's a wrong number, because it's a bit further than that. But of course, there's 2 different versions of the aircraft. You'll see 2 liveries here. One's upgraded avionics, we'll take a look at that later. And this version's the standard avionics. Now, there'll be more liveries created by people soon, of course. This is Freeware, so GG, I'll take it. Now, it was created by Sal 1800 by Bagaloo of the modified Cessna 172s, like the Rhymes, the Tail Dragger, the float plane version, and Burke also. A number of people have beta tested this. I was one of the beta testers for this aircraft. I've been dying to show this to you, because you know how much I love the 206, right? And she looks nice. I've seen worse payware aircraft come out. And this costs $350. Okay, we've got a glass glitch there. As you see, my hair is glitching through it, and it's not, me, it's fine here. Glitching there. So glass glitch for some reason, possibly to do with it being a window, not sure why. Does it do it through this one? It does not do it through that one. Does it do it through the windshield? It's something to do with the opening one. It's causing that. Does this one do it? Just the pilot side. Okay. Let's head inside, take a look around, shall we? Need to press the right window before we do this. There we go. Okay, so interior textures. It's pretty clean. I'm sure someone will dirty it up for us at some point, but it's not actually bad at all. A little simpler in some areas texture-wise than perhaps others, but again, free fitty. I can accept a lot for free fitty. We have a tablet down here with configurations, and here's important because we can remove seats and pull out the entire seating area back here. And there are no camera limitations, so we can put this anywhere we like. So completely open there. We can then, in fact, cargo. We can fill this thing with cargo. We can cycle through that as well. So we have Pally cases, Amazon packages. We can go aft and baggage and belly pod cargo, so we can put more stuff in there. More variations, so that's nice and useful. And yes, I did say belly pod, didn't I? Because one of my favourite features of the 206, the old Coronado, was a belly pod. Rejoice, because the belly pod is back, making this an actual practical, useful, functioning bush plane that does work in the bush. Carries cargo, payload, passengers, and has space to store stuff. Yes, the 206 is belly pod. I am so happy. And it's a bush tyre version too. This is like Christmas for me. I love it. Beverage? Don't want a beverage? Remove your beverage. Important feature. We can open the windows with this. Or I could just be a human being and click here. Just like I could open the door there. We'll leave that for now. We'll open this one. Now we can open doors remotely. So like that. Cargo fore and aft open. And a belly pod door also open. And we have baggage in there too. So everything is controllable. Now you'll notice this forward cargo door cannot be opened if the flaps are deployed. Aft one can, but if the flaps are down in any regard, you cannot open this forward door. So that's a factor. Close those two up. Wonderful. Okay, so we'll put some seats back in here. Why not? And we'll take a look at the engine page. Now this is giving us our engine data. We have got some engine wear and tear and stress values. We can reset those values too. Nice to see, of course. And we have, of course, the config menu. So we'll close this down now. Stow that away. And we have, throughout the cockpit, usual features, of course, both yokes will disappear as one. Would have personally preferred to have one go away with each one. But it is what it is. The fact we can even move the air vents, that's nice. Actually click and drag adjustable sun visors. Ah, and lateral too. Well, someone's been working hard. I like that indeed. Oh, okay, these are snazzy little featurettes here. Right, let's get some electronics on for a second whilst I test out some of our night lighting. So we'll turn those on for a second. And let's get some flood lighting on just so I can see what's going on here. And we'll cycle this to night time. We'll do a quick run around here, then we'll do a little short flight and do some testing. Because that's really important for us. I've got to say the night lighting isn't terrible. Not bad. It's not oppressive, but it's not ridiculous either. Could absolutely be worse. Dial this down. Oh, as I scroll on the wrong thing. That is a me issue rather than them. Okay, cool. We are set in the right position here, so let's run through our checklists for this aircraft. We'll shut the power down properly first. Starting engine, so it's throttle 1/4 inch. This is easy, it's a Cessna. They're not rocket science, they're really freaking easy. Battery to on, prime as required. Current conditions, we don't need to. We're going to make sure the cowl flaps are actually open there. We're going to make sure we're feeding to both. On the fuel, oil pressure is going to be in our green. It is. Ignition to start. Boom. Avionics on, altimeter on, or alternator on, I should say, on. Everything here is set. Now, you think these would be before, in many cases. Excellent, 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 excellent. Now, these sounds are the 172 sounds aliased here for the time being. It's not perfect, but it's also not the end of the world, and I'll probably slave in the Carinado 207 sounds myself. So if you want that, you've got that. Okay, let's set that on. We are good. This is coming up as well. Nice to go. Wonderful. Let's get ourselves tested out and getting rolling here. It's a short little flight for us, but it's just going to take us down the bay and give us something to kick the tyres with, right? Which is exactly what we want to do. So, head tracking on. Okay. Yeah, don't like the stock sounds, but they are free because they're stock Asobo sounds, and it is Freeware aircraft. So it could be far worse. Now we've got about 1,800 feet here. Should be plenty for us to use today. And we're just flying south here towards Rusty Barge from Glacier Point, which is where we're at right now. I'll include links to these two airfields in the description of the video, along with the description or link to the aircraft itself. So she's really neutral on the takeoff roll. Lift the nose up there, and she pulls away nicely. You've got a big nose on the 206 sometimes. It can be a little bit hard to see over. Not much compared to the 207, but it's noticeable. Not too bad at all here. Keep that where we want it to be. So of course this is our version now. I noticed that no sound difference, of course, when we open and close those windows. Would prefer. Isn't the end of the world, but would prefer it. So there's our track. So we'll head due south from here. We'll come across Rusty Barge and we'll be able to get going. So we'll take a look at her in flight. And it's a beauty, isn't it? I love the 206, especially with the belly pod. It makes it like a working aircraft that's doing a job out here. And she absolutely is. Yes, there is some ice over there in the inlet. Our strip was here. Look forward to seeing some liveries for this aircraft, actually, and we can fly with it. Absolutely love this thing. She looks good for free. This is really, really good. Now, Bagaloo, of course, does some fantastic work. Burke and Sal. Sal, of course, the Freeware 170 did a phenomenal job with that. We had a Freeware floats and wheels and Tundra version of the 170, for those who didn't want to pay for the Coronado. Obviously, we haven't got the Coronado 206, but I actually doubt we'll get this many options with the Coronado, which would surprise me if we did. I guarantee they'll give us a glass cockpitted, leather seated, modern version. Criticisms. Textures are a bit simple in places, but it's free. I can absolutely live with what I've got here. More than live with it. It's plenty for what I'm getting. Let's keep a quick look here. I'd rather these two click off separately, to be honest. Everything's looking good instrumentation wise. We'll pull those cowl flaps closed. Oh, those are open up there. Sorry, not closed. I should apologise. But of course, most importantly, what would I like to see from this? Because obviously, Freeware project, it might evolve. I'm not saying it's gonna, but what would I like to see? I want to see the community pull some liveries together, because this plane deserves some nice skins. I want to see, if people are interested, I'd like to see an older seated version and an older interior. So the older style seating, not necessarily the modern style seats. Of course, it's an early 2000s model. This is accurate to an early 2000s model, so that's fair. Maybe not. What I would absolutely love to see, though, is an amphibian, because that was one of my favourite versions to fly, was the amphib. So maybe you'll see an amphibian, although amphibious flying in the sim is a bit weird sometimes. I've loved it a lot less than I'd like to. Alright, here's our field ahead of us. So we're going to set up for a nice long straight in. Kill the power here. And we'll try and get as slow and short as we can for this. Because the 206, for its size and power, is a really good bush plane. You've got a lot of power, good lift on the wing, and she will absolutely haul a good load. So she can typically get out of fairly confined spots. The downside, of course, is it's a trike gear, so you have to be a little more careful with prop clearance, and it will never quite have as much stall capabilities of tail dragger. Now I forget, there's the runway. The runway's there, I believe. I keep thinking it's there, but it's here. Oh, airspeed bleed off right now. Flight physics so far feel good. Obviously, this is not a first impression of flight physics, because I know exactly what the flight physics are like on this one. They're good. I helped beta test it. I did a lot of testing regarding the actual flight handling, how it felt in certain phases. It has a bit of a pull with torque, which is like the 206 should have. But she absolutely takes off and lands like I remember it should. Okay, let's set up here. We're coming over that little ridge line with the trees, which we've got to plonk down. Trim out a bit of this weight from the controls. Okay, we're full flaps here, committed. Little trim down. Let's keep her pointed where I'm looking. And she will fly pretty slowly right now. We're dropping down to about 60 knots here. Adjust her over to the side a little bit. A little bit easier to land in these shorter spaces, and I'm using this exact same runway because we of course used it with the 207. Little power to hold us here. Drop the nose down. Oh, where are we coming in? Here we go. Looking good. Little power. That's a tree. Or a tree top, at least. Nicely done. Yeah, caught a bit of a tree top there. That one appeared out of nowhere. Probably damaged the leading edge. We'll go around, we'll try again just to make sure we get this one right. Okay. I found my visibility kind of restricted that time round. Not sure what was causing that, but it wasn't particularly nice. Okay. Looking good, and brakes off. Pulls a little bit left on that takeoff roll initially, just a little bit of rudder will keep it straight. Get some power here, we should be able to start peeling back now. And away she comes. And she'll climb at a pretty steep angle with positive rate. We're at half tanks, not really got much load on board. So she takes off fairly sprightly. Let's have a look actually what we are running in terms of weight. I don't know what cargo impact this has. Okay, we're running 200 pounds of baggage in the aircraft. Run a bit more weight, shall we? Not 2,000 pounds. Okay. Now we're not looking crazy here, but we're looking pretty reasonable towards Mach takeoff. We're at 3,500 rather than 3,600. So we're actually just shy. Relatively hefty right now. Close the tablet down there. Get that nose down. So aircraft's very heavy right now. This is perfect for our demonstration. We'll do this and then we'll come back with the Tundra version of the advanced avionics and we'll take a look at that and see what that comes with. This is very much more of a demonstration and test out and more to tell you guys to go download this. Like, okay, yes, I tested it, but I have no vested interest in this. It's a freeware plane. But I've shown you freeware planes in the past that I absolutely loved and thought were fantastic and deserved to be seen. This is one of those. Especially as it's a very, very capable aircraft that can do a lot of things that people want to do. There's our runway. Now, this bigger nose does tend to get in the way of aiming this thing properly, but we'll see what we can do. There's our runway. A little bit fast for these flaps, actually. We'll hold our altitude a bit longer here. We'll get those flaps out. We'll go full on those. Burn some speed. We'll stick as I knock everything off my desk at once. We'll come a little bit steeper here with a bit more balance on the energy. Try to watch out for that tree on the approach path there. Thing is, if I ran this place, I'd have chopped that thing down. Because that is fully in the way. You're definitely craning your neck in this aircraft to get a good view of the runway and approach. Okay, fuel controls are in the right place. Everything's in the right place. Little blip of power there just to adjust our spot. Now bear in mind you're going to hear a few stall horns on this approach. I am very heavy. Approach path is good now. Keep it higher here. Okay, we're good, we're good, we're good, we're good, we're good. Yeah. Whine at me all you like. Whine at me all you like. Drop her in and sploosh. There we go. And she's down. Little tail heavy. Oh, at least nose high, I should say. But not the world's worst. Okay. Let's go take a look at the Tundra Tire Advanced Avionics model. Now, of course, both versions of this aircraft have the Advanced Avionics option available to them. But we're going to look at that and the Tundra to kill two birds with one stone. So here we are with the Tundra Tire version. It's the same, but with bigger tyres. Seems pretty obvious, doesn't it? But, you know, sometimes you have to explain things. So inside we obviously have the engine management system and actual map on a screen. Pretty useful. We have the G5 Garmin units up on the front there. Nice to have that as an option, actually. The glass does seem a little murky, or milky perhaps, on them. It's one thing I don't perhaps like. The steam instruments look just fine, actually. I would have liked some, and this is one of the criticisms for both versions, I'd have liked a little bit more noise on the panel. In fact, in general, a little bit more noise, perhaps a little bit more kind of surface scatter on probably the sidewalls, but most certainly the panel. It's too smooth. It needs a little something. Just to give it a bit of va-va-voom. Yes. So, the upgraded livery features a G3X or a GTN 750 if you're using the optional PMS50 add-on. So we'll look down here for our tablet and we shall see some optiones. Of course, engine, beverages. We can turn off our beverages. We want to keep a beverage, of course, important. Now the mod for the G750, you can use that here. But otherwise, you of course have got the functions of the 750. Or the G3X. Now it's the map page, but it's pretty useful. At least to have, if you don't have these features. Of course, why wouldn't you want to use something like the free PMS50 if you wanted that? But you have it. So of course everything else is plugged in here as we'd want it to. The bush tire version does technically have different flight physics. Is it any different? We'll find out. We'll do a quick lump around, shall we? One important feature here is put our belly pod on. Because we got to have belly pod. This will be the version I'll be flying the most. Tundra tires and belly pod. Because, oh baby. Oh yeah, another version if we did actually have the option for the non-Tundra version to have the mud guards available. That's sort of commonly seen thing on the bush ones. If they've got the belly pod especially, you'll tend to see mud flaps on the back of the main gear. Not on Tundra tires because they're normally too big. Of course, this is also a tied together yoke. That's fine. Let's motor it out of here, shall we? A little more sluggish getting moving. And she's going. Peel back. Up she comes. Has this... This isn't full weight, is it? No, payload's 50%, so we're different compared to what we had. Flaps coming up. Speed's good. We'll turn to the right here. Take a look at some of that ice flowing off from the glacier behind us. And we'll circle back in for a landing. Much cleaner approach to this runway, so it should give us a chance. Now, personally, I love having this as an option. I'd like to hear some some wind sounds, but I'd also... I don't mind it not. It's not the end of the world for me. I do like having the windows open though. That's a big one for me. I love this. Bush tires, cargo pod, a Cessna 206. I am a very, very happy flight simmer. This is me. This is my OG FSX days. Obviously without the Tundra wheels. The Carenado belly pod version flying around Alaska and British Columbia. I live for this stuff. That's my favourite plane. I had my little livery for my own private little company, Campbell Aviation, on there that I created. A little fictional company called Campbell Aviation, a little bush company based out of Denny Island, Bella, or Campbell Island, I should say, sorry. And it's a still fictional mom and pop kind of bush company, and I write these little fictional pirates, little narrative stories about missions and flights into the wilderness on this Flight Sim bush flying forum I was on back in the day. And it was the most fun I ever had. I loved it. I got to kind of combine my love of fiction and my love of aviation, and they were two great things. There's our runway. Not very far away, but we should be okay here. Burn this speed off. And then we'll turn in for our approach. Okay. Get some visibility here. I don't actually see where I'm landing. This is what I love about bush strips in this sim, because they can be very hard to see. Is it there? I think it's there rather than here. Yeah, I think we're on that leg of the headland. That looks more plausible. Yeah, there it is. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're gonna be fine. Nothing's wrong. And she's a graceful bird with those big flaps out. Look at that. Huge, meaty flaps. The bush tire's waiting to go kick up some dirt. Love it. Absolutely love it. This is my favourite kind of thing in a sim. Right. Will she ride the Avangel Express? Yes, she will. In we come. I find I've got amazing control of my approach angle and speed when I slip an aircraft in like this. Kissed it like a butter. Although why you would kiss butter, I have no idea. Who would actually kiss butter? That's weird. You should probably go outside and touch grass if you're kissing butter, to be honest. Did I just marry two phrases together? That was like butter and we kissed it. It's confusing. Words are hard. This is fun. Go download it. What are you still doing watching this video? Go to flightsim.to, download this, give big ups to the guys who made it, and show your support for them, show your love. Fantastic to see Freeware creators putting stuff out like this and showing us what can be done in the sim when people want to contribute. So go out there and have fun flying. Bye!